All right, let's talk about something interesting. When you drive past a big construction site, most people just see, well, a building being built. But what if I told you that for a savvy investor, that's not just a building, it's a wealth engine in the making? Today, we are diving deep into the world of off plan real estate, specifically in the UAE, and we're going to break down exactly how people use it to get way ahead of the curve. Let's jump right in.
So here's the big question, right? Buying a property that hasn't even been built yet, is that just a crazy gamble? Or is it actually a really smart, calculated move? That's what we're going to unpack. And look, while there are for sure risks involved, the people who really get this market use a super disciplined approach to turn that risk into a massive opportunity. And this quote from Dr. Pooyan Ghamari, man, it just hits the nail on the head. It says, "The most powerful investors don't wait for opportunities to be obvious. They move before the crowd arrives." That's the whole game right there. It's not about jumping on the bandwagon. It's about seeing where the bandwagon is going and getting there first. Okay, first up, let's talk about the off-plan gold mine. We really need to shift our thinking here. We're not just looking at a future apartment or villa. We're looking at a financial tool, one that starts generating value for you way before anyone even gets the keys. All right, next section. So why are we talking specifically about the UAE? What makes this place different? Well, the truth is, the entire economic setup here is just built differently than pretty much any other major real estate market on the planet. Let's kick things off with a huge one, 0% property tax. I mean, think about that. In most places, you're paying taxes on your property every single year, and that just chips away at your profits. Here? Nope. That money stays right where it belongs, in your pocket. It seriously boosts your net gains. But wait, it gets even better. On top of no property tax, when you decide to sell and you've made a profit, you also pay 0% in capital gains tax. This is absolutely critical. It means every single dollar of profit you make is yours to keep. That is a game changer for any investor. So, you've got these incredible tax benefits, right? But what about the market itself? This chart basically tells the whole story. Look at the demand versus the supply. It's not even close. Demand for housing here just consistently blows past the available supply. And basic economics 101, when way more people want something than there is to go around, what happens to the price? It goes up. The real question is, what's behind all this crazy demand? Well, it's really a perfect storm of factors fueling this. You've got rapid population growth, a never-ending stream of global talent and business owners moving in, and the government is pouring billions into massive infrastructure projects. Plus, and this is a big one, the laws make it incredibly easy for people from all over the world to buy and own property here. You put all that together, and you get this constant, powerful engine of demand. Okay, so what's the payoff for an off-plan investor in this kind of market? It's this. You can often get in on a project at a price that's 20, 30, even 40% lower than what that same property will be worth the day it's finished. Think about that. You're locking in a discount on future value. Which leads us perfectly into our next section, buying tomorrow's price today. This is the heart of the whole strategy. You're not just buying a piece of real estate. You're using a financial lever. You're securing an asset at today's cost with the full expectation that it will be valued at tomorrow's higher price. And this right here is a huge mindset shift. You're not just buying property. You are literally buying time. The most valuable asset you're getting isn't the concrete and glass. It's the 2 or 3 year construction window. That's the period where the real magic happens, where the value can grow substantially without you doing anything. Let's put some real numbers on this to make it concrete. Imagine a new studio apartment launches in an area that's just starting to take off. The off-plan price is, say, 699,000 dirhams. Fast forward 2 or 3 years to handover day, that exact same studio is now selling on the open market for 900,000, maybe even 1,000,000 dirhams. That's a massive potential profit, and it was all generated while the building was being built. So you're probably thinking, why on earth would a developer give me such a good deal? It's simple, really. They need your capital up front to help fund the construction. You're basically an early partner. And for that early commitment, they reward you. You get the best prices, you get flexible payment options, you get to pick the best units with the best views, and you get to ride that wave of capital appreciation during the build. Okay, so we've covered the why the UAE is such a unique market for this. Now let's get practical and talk about the how, because this is not about getting lucky. The pros use a very specific step-by-step playbook to find the best deals and, just as importantly, to manage their risk. So let's break down that 7-step plan.
All right, the first 4 steps. Step 1 is crucial. Define your strategy. What's your endgame? Are you trying to flip it for a quick capital gain at handover, or are you building a rental income stream for the long haul? Step 2. Don't chase the current headlines. You need to look for the next hotspot, the areas poised for future growth. Step 3. Do your homework on the developer. Their track record is everything. Do they deliver on time? Is the quality good? This is your biggest risk mitigator. And step 4. Dive deep into the payment plan. Does it work with your cash flow? Is it giving you good leverage?
Okay, on to the final 3 steps. Step 5. Protect your money. You absolutely have to make sure the project is using a proper government-regulated escrow account. That's non-negotiable. Step 6. Know your exit before you enter. How are you going to sell or rent this thing out? You need that plan locked in from day 1. And finally, step 7. Timing. You have to understand where you are in the market cycle to know the best time to get in and the best time to get out.
So that 7-step playbook sounds pretty solid, right? But here's the challenge. Executing it requires a ton of research, data, and deep analysis. And that brings up the single biggest hurdle for most individual investors. Where do you get all the information you need to actually make these smart decisions? This problem has a name. It's called the information gap. I mean, seriously, how are you supposed to filter through hundreds of different projects? How can you read a complex legal document and know if it's solid? And how do you predict which neighborhood is actually going to be the next big thing? Trying to do all that on your own? Well, it's not just hard, it's a full-time job.
And that's where modern investment platforms and tools come in. They're designed to bridge that information gap. They do the heavy lifting for you. They rigorously vet the projects. They help you build a strategy that fits your specific goals. They can even help negotiate better payment terms. And they support you with planning your exit. The whole point is to take the guesswork out of the equation and replace it with decisions based on hard data.
Okay, let's tie this all together into our final section, your future wealth engine. When you take the one-of-a-kind market dynamics of the UAE, you combine them with that disciplined 7-step strategy, and then you add the right data and tools, suddenly off-plan real estate isn't just a purchase anymore. It becomes a powerful, calculated move to build wealth. You can really boil it all down to this simple formula for success. The why is the amazing UAE economy. The how is that disciplined 7-step investor playbook. And the edge, your strategic advantage, comes from using the right platforms and tools to execute that playbook perfectly. And this is really the most important takeaway from our entire conversation today. This isn't about buying a property and just crossing your fingers, hoping it goes up in value. No, this is about actively engineering a financial outcome. You're using a proven strategy in a market that is just filled with opportunity. So, I'll leave you with this final thought. All the signs are pointing to the next big wave of growth coming. It's on the horizon. The only question is, will you be positioned to get ahead of it?